Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse comes to us from directors Bob Persichetti, Peter Ramsey, and Rodney Rothman, and was also produced by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who directed the Lego Movie. This film sets itself apart from other Spider-Man films by being animated, and using a blend of 3D animation with a 2D comic book aesthetic. This is also the first feature film to have Miles Morales as Spider-Man, who has been highly requested by fans to make an appearance in Spider-Man films. So as a result, this movie acts as an origin story for Miles. This movie also introduces the concept of the Spider-Verse, where multiple dimensions exist, featuring many different versions of Spider-Man, including the likes of Spider-Gwen, Spider-Ham, and of course Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Now I know there's a bit of skepticism about whether the movie being an animated film would dumb things down and make the film more for kids. But let me tell you, this movie is fantastic and should not be skipped. This is one of those brilliant animated films that delivers material for both adults and kids. In addition to being the ultimate Spider-Man film for fans, the film is packed to the brim with Easter eggs and references to Spider-Man's history. From the many different movies, comics, and even memes, if you are a fan of the character, this movie is for you. Otherwise, this movie will make you a fan of Spider-Man. But one of the best things this movie does is develop and flesh Miles out as a character to make you really fall in love with him and his journey to becoming Spider-Man. Where in this movie, he is literally the new kid on the block. And when other alternate Spider people start showing up, he feels alienated because he isn't as experienced as them. But the movie has a brilliant message behind it about anyone being a hero. And I think that's going to resonate with a lot of people, especially little kids who go to see this. I love this movie, I really did. It's my new favorite Spider-Man film after Spider-Man 2. This movie treats the Spider-Man characters and fans with so much love and respect and rewards you for being a fan of the character. For those playing Super Smash Bros. At the moment, this is essentially the Super Smash Bros. Of Spider-Man films. Oh, and the animation style. I know for some people it took them a while to get used to the animation, but I've got to admit I had no issue with it. The style keeps you focused on exactly what you should be looking at, keeping the most important elements in focus. This is a vibrant, colourful, beautiful film to look at that moves at an exhilarating pace, which keeps up with the snappy yet human dialogue that fans of the Lego Movie would recognise. That may be my only complaint, is that sometimes there is just so much visual information to take in on screen, so many colours and people moving around very rapidly, that some people might have trouble keeping up with what's happening. But this allows for some incredibly inventive action scenes, as well as utilising Spider-Man's powers and comic book origins for some hilariously innovative scenes between characters. Everyone in the film is fully fleshed out and realised, with their own unique quirks and sense of humour. I particularly like the Nick Cage voiced Spider-Man Noir, and his attempts at understanding a Rubik's Cube. The villain Kingpin is a bit more of the usual big brute that you don't get a great deal of time with, but you definitely understand what his motivations are for activating this dimension-tearing machine. Major props though to Shameik, who plays Miles Morales in the film. He brings so much personality to Miles that I would honestly love to see this version of Miles in live action on the big screen. I thought Shameik was excellent. Into the Spider-Verse is a film that I don't think anyone should miss out on, especially if you're a Spider-Man fan. Some people may have issues with the animation style or the pacing of the film, but I found it all highly entertaining with an incredible message that I think everyone is going to love. Don't sleep on this one just because it's animated. Oh, and stay all the way to the end of the credits. This movie has one of my favorite post-credit scenes of all time. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse gets a 9 out of 10 from me. Guys, I hope you like this review. If you want to see more reviews just like this one, stay right here for your mono fix. Bye guys.